Hello all, EV Darrell back with you. This is the 25,000 mile review on our 2024 Tesla Model Y. Dual motor, 7-passenger, white interior. Am I forgetting anything? I don't know. We're going to do a little drive today, and we're currently at 24,956. So we'll be well over 25,000 miles when we're done with this drive. But I want to drive and talk and drive and talk and drive and talk today. Okay? So we're going to go over all of the good and all of the bad. Okay? So again, 25,000 miles isn't anything big. Once it has 250,000 miles on it, that'll be the good review. So I wanted to start out by saying we've only had the car since June 27th, I think it was the day we took possession of it in 2024. And today is currently May the 6th, 2025. So we haven't quite had it 11 months, but so anyway. All right, let's get started. And let's start with a lot of the likes, because there's hundreds of those. A lot of times people start with the dislikes, and I've done that in the past too. But I'm going to start with the likes. And this, I want you to understand, I'm only going to name off maybe 50 out of 500. There's so many things that I take advantage of that I even either forget about, or things that it does that I don't even really give it credit for. So, first of all, let's start with the elephant in the room. There's no maintenance, okay? You already know this, but other than putting windshield washer fluid in, basically that's it. You can, like, I rotate my own tires every 6,000 miles. Note, I forgot and didn't do it for 10,000 miles on this last time, but normally I rotate them every 6,000 miles. So, did you hear that ding? Now, that's for people that fall asleep. Every time the light turns green, it dings to let you know, hey, the light's green, moron, get moving. I like that. I really like that. But back to the maintenance. And I'm going to include something. People talk about, well, we don't have any oil changes, and there's no brake jobs needed because you have regenerative braking. And those are, I think a lot of people realize there's no maintenance on the cars other than windshield washer fluid. But something I want people to, I'm adding it under maintenance, is there's no more gas station stops. Okay? Think about the times once a week, or I don't know, some people go twice a week, some people go every other week to the gas station. And I know it takes you 12 seconds to get gas, and I hear all of the critics say, oh, that's no big deal. It is. All right? Let me just talk to you about a guy who hasn't been to a gas station in, what's it been now, 11 months? It is fantastic. As I drive by Costco and I see the cars lined up, as I drive by my local gas stations, and even, I mean, yes, if you go in the evening, at 8 o'clock at night, there's not a line. Or if you get in, yes, you can get in and out sometimes in 10 minutes. But most people's gas stations are not outside their house. Okay? Some people are like, well, I stop at a gas station on my way home from work or on my way to work. But if I've heard the amount of times, whether it's been from my kids or from ever, like, my son-in-law's he's got to run out and get gas, I forgot to get gas. Or my daughter needs to get gas, I forgot to get gas. So, yes, there are times when you can do it as you're getting back from work. But you're still stopping, getting out, punching in your zip code, punching in your loyalty card code. Got the beautiful smell of gasoline on your hands. All of the things that really, are really like not fun. I mean, you can say how wonderful it is that you love going to the gas station every week and paying, is it down to $3.29 a gallon now? Is it whatever? I don't care, because I don't really look at gas prices anymore. If gas was $1.89, I'd be happy for people. And I'm hoping it gets that way in the next year. But right now, when it's $3.39, $3.29, $3.59, $3.19, you know, it's kind of like they pick and choose what they want for the day. I don't care about that. So I'm adding that in. My gas station is at my house. Okay? So what I do every third night, whatever, fourth night, whenever I need to charge, I plug in when I get home. It's on the wall right by my car. I get out of my car, I plug it in, I go in the house, take my shoes off. That's it. Now mine is set up to charge overnight so that it'll be ready the next morning at 6 a.m. That's how I have mine set. Some people like to have theirs charge immediately, and you can do that with the Tesla. You can do that with all cars now. But I threw that in under maintenance because I include that. Gas, I mean, that's part of maintenance to me, besides oil changes and all the others. Okay? Now, what I like to the next one is that I don't have a push button start. I don't have an ignition. I have a phone that works as my app. It is my key. It is everything. Okay? When you get in the car knows who it is. So we have settings set up for my wife, and we have settings set up for me, each according to our phones. When I get in the car and I put my foot on the brake, everything from the side mirrors to the steering wheel to the seat goes to my settings automatically. And I know cars have that now, some cars. I've never had that before, and it's just fantastic. Now when my wife gets in the car, it goes to her settings. Now, in the reverse, when you put the car in park and you take your seatbelt off, it goes to what they call easy entry. I call it easy exit. It'll move the steering wheel up and out of my way. It'll move my seat to a position back where I can literally just get out of the car. That's nice every single time. It's really, really nice. I've never had anything like that. So for me, that's really nice. The next step, or the next bullet point, is the over-the-air updates. Okay? This car has gotten better, much better. I mean, I thought it was a great car when I bought it. It has gotten better because of the over-the-air updates. And it downloads overnight. I have it scheduled for 2 a.m. when it says, hey, there's an update on the car. I just have it scheduled to do it overnight while I sleep. Same as my charging. While I sleep, I get my full tank of gas. So, it's so cool. It's added things like rear cross traffic alerts, which it didn't have when I first bought the car. It's added things like adaptive headlights now, so that have better night driving, which I still haven't. I need to go out late at night and see how it works. But different parts of your headlight, it used to go from brights to dim. When it notices a car coming at you, it would go from brights to dim. Now only certain parts of the light, since they are LEDs, will dim. Only what needs to dim with the oncoming car. The rest of it, you can keep the lights, they stay on, so that you can have what you need. Which I think is, to me, I think that's fantastic. I just really like that it does that. We have now got added cameras because of some morons who are going around keying cars and causing problems with Teslas, people that don't obviously have a brain cell in their head. So they added what used to be, I think it was it 3 cameras or 4 videotaped before when there was movement around the car. Now there's 6. So now when I get in and I have an incident, or I have, when we get in a car, if we're in a parking lot and somebody parks next to you and gets out of their car, it videotapes them, in case you didn't know that. You'll have about a 30-second clip of them getting in or getting out of their cars. Had an incident it's been about a week or 2 ago, probably 2 weeks ago now, at the Walmart, where a couple of idiots were going to come over and key my car. I have no doubt about it. They parked in the lane behind us, and the rear camera picked them up walking towards the car with a key in their hand. And thank goodness there was a lot of traffic. It was like a Saturday, I think. And as they were approaching the trunk of my car, a car was pulling down the lane sideways, and they saw them coming, and they spun around and walked away. But I have no doubt in my mind what they were going to do. No doubt. Because, again, total morons, not a brain cell in their head. Well, I don't want this video to be 7 hours long, so let's just get down to efficiency. At the mileage that I had, I was averaging, 264.7 watt hours per mile, which is actually, 3.77 miles per kilowatt, okay? Which averages out to 127.3 miles per gallon, lifetime. So I've been averaging just over 127 miles per gallon in this, okay? Which is really good mileage. Really, really good mileage. So I wrote down price under a positive thing, and let's just finish up the positives with that. My car started at $44,990. Now, that would have been a 5-passenger, black seats, single motor car. And that would have been fine. Had Peg not realized that she wanted a 7-passenger, which they have, and I kind of liked the white seats, and we ended up getting a dual motor. I didn't want the dual motor, but we got it. Another thing, and again, there's hundreds of things I'm skipping over of positives. Little things like cameras come on board. I'm still the old school. I look over my shoulder when I want to change lanes. But when you hit the blinker, a camera comes on down on your main screen, which is out the left side of your car, showing everything on the left side of your car. If you hit your right blinker, it pops on the right camera that shows everything on the right side. So I wouldn't have to look over my shoulder like I was taught in high school. I don't have to check that. I've got everything on the cameras in the center console. I just am old school, and I still look over there. Plus, I look at the cameras. So, but anyway, back to the price. So, my price ended up being $50,000. Okay, that's steep. That's the most I've ever paid for a car in my life. That is very expensive. Let's not sugarcoat that. But if you get a $7,500 federal tax credit, that took it to $42,500. Okay. Well, now, since this is kind of a very luxurious car anyway, now you take it down to $42,500. That's really, you're not going to get a Lexus RX 350 for that. You're not going to get a BMW 7 for that. You're not going to get a luxury car for $42,500. You're not. Okay? In today's society and today's pricing for $42,500, yeah, you're not. You might get a Ford or Chevy, which is made with Canadian parts or Mexican parts, made in another country. You're not going to get what I consider a Cadillac version, a Tahoe version, a Yukon version. You're not going to get those for $42,500. So, But again, I'm skipping over just, I'll say dozens and dozens of things that I've just gotten to the point where I literally take for granted now in this car. Autopilot's the best going. I mean, other people can say Super Cruise, Blue Cruise, Chartreuse Cruise, Green Cruise. You can call them all that you want, but autopilot, I don't have full self-driving. Autopilot's, I think it's the best. I use it all the time if I'm on the highway. So, but anyway, let's just cut it short and say, from the positive side, there it is. Now, let's get to the dirty secrets, the negatives, the bad, the horrible, the reason everybody is like, you don't want to buy a Tesla, okay? And here it is, because I report everything, good and bad. The suspension on this car is too firm. I know it's got, whatever, 4Gs, and it drives like a sports car and can blow 95% of all the cars off on the road. And I know that's why they made the sports suspension as tight as they did. But it's tight. It's a firm suspension. The new, I know they said on the new one that they have adjusted the suspension and made it a little, and I think you can adjust the suspension on those. Correct me if I'm wrong on those. But it's a softer suspension. A lot of times on a luxury car, you expect a car, and I have the window down in case you didn't know that, if there's wind noise. If you hit bumps, hard bumps, you feel it, okay? And I've gotten, I don't want to say gotten used to it, but I don't like it. It's too tight. It's too firm. It needs a softer suspension, especially as I age. I kind of like the nice soft suspensions, but next step I wrote down on my next bullet point: curb rash. And this goes in hand with the suspension. Okay, so the suspension is for a sports car, and sports cars have shorter distance between the road. Like some older cars and vans and stuff had a taller tire, which gives you a softer ride. But also those sidewalls, if you drove a sports car with a really tall sidewall, you'd have a lot of rollover. Well, they didn't want that in the car. Well, if you don't want that in the car, you got to have a shorter tire, which means your rims are closer to the ground, which means they're closer to the curb. If you curb like our minivan, if we were driving through the Mickey D's drive-through and we curbed it, who cares? Your tire is so tall that it's taller than the curb. You had no issues. But we have road rash on all the tires, and every Tesla owner, and I don't want the liars out here. You can comment if you want. If you own a Tesla, you have curb rash. Now, people have bought the adaptive wheel covers to cover up their road rash, but unless you bought a car and you put it in the garage and you don't drive it, you're going to have curb rash. You just are. There's no way around it. So anyway, that has been an aggravation for me. I have not corrected our curb rash, because it seems like the more we drive it, well, then pretty soon it's on another tire, or it's So anyway, that's been a contention of mine. That's like, and it's not one of us or both. It's everybody. Anybody who drives a Tesla, at some point you're going to touch a curb that you don't mean to be touching. All right. Well, let's wind it down to what I consider fairly minor, because we don't need it that much. The last bad thing is my car came with, I think, 308 miles of range when I bought it. I have not done a degradation test yet, but I'm going to do that soon. It came with 308 miles of range. But as you know or should know, they don't like to be charged to 100% unless you're taking off on a road trip. Okay, so they like to be charged to 80%. All right, well, 80% of, let's use round numbers because I'm driving. 80% of 300 miles is like 240. So you're only going to have 240 miles of range which seems like only like, say, 3/4 of a tank of a gas tank of a car. So would I like there to be 400 miles of range? Yeah. But I'm kind of nitpicking now because, again, that is only on road trips that even comes into effect. Okay? So you have no issues with that whatsoever on normal driving. Because 240 is more than enough for my daily driving. You know, the average person drives 37 miles a day. You know, I mean, we drive more, obviously. But on my day-to-day driving, I only need to charge every few days anyway in my gas station in my garage. So the big part of that is, yes, I'd love to have more range, but I normally don't have any issues, and that only happens on road trips. And even on road trips, it's not bad. I've had some people really complain about the charging curve. I can get, at a low state of charge when the battery's warm, I can get 256 kW for just a short time. And then it starts to dwindle down on the charge from that. And yeah, over 50%, I'm still pulling right around 100, 110 kW. But you don't want to charge to 100%. Again, road trips, you want to hang out between the 10 and 60 to 70%. Yes, you can go 20 to 80, you know. But on our trips to Florida, and we've made 3 trips to Florida with this, I think. Or 2 trips to Florida and 1 trip out to Colorado and back. You know, have I added an hour or 2 to our trip, maybe, over a gas car? Probably, maybe 3 hours to go to South Florida. And as I get older, I need more time out of the car anyway. You know what I mean? I need breaks for whatever reason, you know. So that's basically the worst of the worst. I mean, I can't even, and I'm nitpicking at things like, wish the charging was, you know, 350 kilowatts up to 80%. I wish I had 400 miles of range. I wish. Well, how often do you use those? That's the key. Most of the stuff you don't even use. So let me, we'll finish up with a wrap. If you like this kind of content, you like my updates, please like and subscribe and comment below. And hold on for my update. Yeah, so I forgot to mention, you know, we traded in our minivan. Well, I sold our minivan. We were averaging, you know, on road trips, I could get 28 miles per gallon with it. We were averaging 21.8 miles per gallon on Phillips. So to go from that to the Tesla's unbelievable 127, we basically are getting more than 100 miles per gallon better mileage. So check out this bridge up here. This is the new McCluggage Bridge on the left. It's got the big oval in the middle of it. So check this out. They just finished this bridge. The bridge in the middle, they finally just blew up over a period of the last month. There was 3 bridges here like a week or 2 ago. So basically what we had was that bridge on the left. It's got the big oval. That's the newest one. And it's all done, finished, and they're in the middle of getting rid of the, it looks like the big spans are down. That's awesome. The bridge in the middle, they're just finishing up. You can kind of see over here, they've still got another implosion they're going to have to do to get the final versions. You can see a little bit of it on the bottom. So there we are, down a rabbit hole, a brand new bridge. But you know, so I'm getting better than 100 miles per gallon better in this car. And I'm not paying $3.29 a gallon, $3.39, $3.59. I'm not paying any of that, okay? As many of you know, I charge up overnight, and I pay sometimes 2 cents a kilowatt, sometimes 1 cent a kilowatt, sometimes 3 cents a kilowatt. So it's just dirt cheap. The savings is astronomical. So due to the high efficiency of the car, again, it's only 25,000 miles. If the car doesn't last for 250,000 miles, I'll be quite upset. But anyway, would we do it again? The first 25,000? Absolutely. Absolutely. And we just do, like I said, I do oil changes on my kids' cars. I do repairs on my, brakes maybe and stuff like that. I have more than enough to do with the in-laws, son-in-law's cars, the daughter's cars, the granddaughter's car. Because when I look at the maintenance on our 2 electric cars, there's none. I wrote on my little chalkboard in my garage that, I did tire rotation, and you look at something, it's like, well, that was, like on the Tesla. Again, I went 10,000 miles before I rotated the tires last week. But normally you're supposed to do it every 6,000. I think we were in Florida when that came up, and I couldn't do it down there. So it's like, that's it. I don't write down that I put a half a gallon of windshield washer fluid in 3 months ago. I don't even write that down. I just write tire rotation because there's no maintenance. I haven't done the cabin air filters yet. Again, it did say in the maintenance that I should look at the windshield wipers. They're overdue to be looked at, but there's no streaks, there's no issues. That's another thing. They just kind of give you a look like, oh, hey, do you need this done? Do you just look at that, check this out, check that. I'll replace a wiper blade when a wiper blade needs replaced. And until then, we're not going to do it. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for everything. Please comment below, what you guys think. And again, everybody, take care.